This motorcycle is Honda Australia's first GL 1500. It's got the serial number 1. It has a Japanese compliance plate, or made in Japan rather than made in America on it, which makes the bike unique. It was called a SUTI bike, that's Single Uniform Type Inspection Bike. It was made in Japan because the Japanese feared that the Americans may not be able to meet demand with that new model, and they tooled up the old factory in Matsu. And the Japanese model never went beyond just a handful of sample bikes. And this bike was imported into Australia by Honda Australia in 1989, 30 years ago. The bike was used for government inspections, engineering, and for Honda's testing and for their marketing and press. It was also at the launch for the Gold Wing at the Travelodge in Melbourne, where there was 100 or so dealers and staff present. And the main door swung open, the bike came in to the main ballroom with the stereo blasting and did 2 full laps of the room and came to a standstill on the main stage. The witness, Greg Smart, that was there, got a lot of information from him. He said that he's really never seen eyes pops or jaws drop like that before or since. So it certainly left an impact. So where did I get the bike from, and how did it end up in Tasmania? I bought this bike just thinking that I'm just going to get a cheap project to work on, and a friend of mine spotted it for sale. He considered buying it himself, changed his mind, but he already negotiated a deal with the owner of $4,000. And I said, look, it sounds like the kind of bike that I'm after. I'll buy it on scene if it's the same deal, if the same deal applies to me. I went down, handed my money over, got a receipt on the bike, got 6 radio papers from the person, and took it home in the tow truck. It was covered in dust and lawn clippings and feathers, and it looked like a barn find. It really wasn't in good condition. Reverse gear didn't work, it was running on 3 cylinders, and it really wasn't in a good state of repair. But this is basically, as I found it, just been cleaned up. I mean, nothing's been repainted. It has extensive servicing and some repairs, but beside that, it's all good. I brought the thing home, and I thought, like all people, I better just make sure that the serial number matched what the previous owner put on the receipt. And when I looked at it, and it said, you know, it was 4 zeros and a 1 on it. I thought, well, that can't be right. And I started to investigate, and I went down to Honda, Horizon Honda, and I had a look in their reference book, and I realised that it must be the first bike in that decade. So I put that up on the Gold Wing page, and within 20 minutes, I think it was, people were starting to come along, and they weren't sure about this, that was the case, and so on. Then a employee from Honda Australia, MP, was got on the blower, and he's quite knowledgeable of the history of Honda, and he then filled in the blanks and said that well, the bike is far more important than being the first in the decade. It was actually Honda Australia's first GL 1500, and it was called SUTI bike. So yes, it does have some history, and it's just a fun thing to own, and you know, hopefully it'll be around for a long time. I will be taking it to some bike shows in the future, just if some people want to inspect it and have a look at it. I just use it and ride it. I am thinking about getting an 1800s Gold Wing now, just to preserve this so it doesn't clog up quite so many kilometres. What else is there to say about it? It's a remarkable motorcycle, and considering it's 30 years old, it's done 157,000 kilometres. It still runs pretty well like a new bike. The oil was changed in the bike. I do have a record of that over that 30 years, but no other servicing really appears to have been done to the bike, and the fact that it's survived as well as it has is remarkable. It just shows how durable a Honda Goldwing is, and even the paint finishes have lasted quite well. There's a little bit of fading on the top box and the tyre fit, but beside that, all the plastics, the vinyls are all good on it. Most of the paints are as they were when the bike was new. It is truly a remarkable machine. The electrics work on it. You would think a 30-year-old motorcycle, you'll end up with issues with electrics. I had one little issue, but besides that, it's been pretty reliable, and everything works on it. It amazes me every time I ride it that something that old can run that well and be quite so reliable. So it's just a testimony to Honda and their engineering and their fine product. This motorcycle is quite an anomaly. Inside a lot of the panels on the engine, it's written made in the USA, despite the fact that this motorcycle was built in Japan. This GL 1500 had 5 owners in the 30 years. This includes Honda Australia. It was sold on to a gentleman in Melbourne, and he then sold it on to a fellow called Rick in the northern state of Tasmania. He paid $15,500 for it. About 7 years later, he then sold it on to a lady from Lenna Valley near Hobart called Wendy, and she rode it for a further 7 years, and I believe she paid around about $7,000 for it. And that was the lady that I bought the bike from, and that's how it ended up in the state.